So we're gonna kill a bunch of birds with one stone here, and try and get all this in on one video. So, kind of a video log for myself. If anyone else is interested, then maybe this will help you out. So what I did today, I'm kind of like halfway through the season here, or a little bit into the season, maybe a quarter of the way. These are my beans. I just put bamboo. What is that, like I think they were 6-foot bamboo stakes, 3. Made them into a little teepee, and this is what I'm going to end up doing with all of them, is tying some line so they can climb straight up and not take over the garden. Cucumbers are going to end up going here. Those are not looking great, and I have some seed cells that I'll do another video on. Peppers behind that. And this was the project today, the tomatoes. I finally thinned these out. I took out the suckers. If anyone wants to learn anything about what a sucker is, you have your main stalk that's here, and you have a branch that's here, and right in the middle, no, there's not one there, but you can kind of see the remnants of the piece that I took out. Another stalk will grow in here. It's actually another growing stalk. So you got your main stalk, and it'll be another one that grows out this way that will end up growing. Here's your tomatoes right here, your flowers, little buds. So today what I did was I took out the suckers. I took off the bottom branches to give it a little bit of a where is it? A little disease barrier. That's about maybe about 8 inches. I'm going to end up taking off these bottom branches. This one here, possibly this one, once this gets a little bit taller. So I have 40 plants in the garden, 4 on my deck. I actually forget what I put in the garden, but on the deck is the Super Steak variety. So that's a total of 44. Plus I have another 3 that I ordered some seeds online and got crap. Now I forget what they're called too, but they're heritage ones. I want to be able to I want to try and start saving seeds this year out of the tomato, which I know how to do now, and I'll do another video on that at some point. Probably when I end up getting a tomato off the heirloom or heritage, whatever you want to call it. The watering system I have set up is hose coming from the house. It's going along the fence, so it goes all the way along like that, and it ties in to a soaker system, and the soaker system goes in and down every row. I just kind of designed it because you can cut it and fit it together. So that connects to that. That's the end of the hose there with just a stopper. And it just gets a nice amount of water right to the roots. So I have it going in between each tomato row, so it goes to the roots. And I also have a rain barrel in the back, catches it off the back of the shed, and that has a hose that goes. There's the hose, and that goes along the back, which I'll show you in a minute, to a row of potatoes that are on the other side. And those are growing well. So today, I took off the suckers, took off the bottom branches. The front ones, because I didn't have enough of length, and I wanted to put more tomatoes rather than less. The front ones I have with stakes, as you can see, tied to the stake. These are nice solid stakes, so that'll hold. And I did something new this year. I have these, I think these are 5 feet. Yeah, they're about 4 feet tall now. I put them about 1 foot in the ground. This is just this, got all this from Home Depot. This coated wire, and I had them, they do it for free at Home Depot. They put on these little crimpers, and I put a little loop. Now I can move this up and down. I just have it hooked around this. It's the second highest setting, so as this grows I could actually bring this up. And I have it just on a S-clip. Oh, let's see if I can get in here. Little carabiner, basically, at the end. Another tie, carabiner, and it just clips right on. So I was trying to think of ease of disconnection at the end of the season, so I can set this up each year. Now, if you want to do this yourself, you could do the same thing, except instead of a 4-foot fence, you could get 2 of those, one for each end of the row of tomatoes that you have. I think those cost me $3 or $4 a piece, so it was a little bit of money. Not too much if you only had, you're probably not as insane as I am and have, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, so that'd be 10 times 4, so that'd be $40 just for the posts themselves. But they're nice and solid. I put them in at an angle, angling out away from the garden, and then that puts some tension on once I put the wire in. This is just some twine that if I miss a piece will break down in the garden, but this just goes straight down. In the beginning I started tying it to the base down here, but at the end here I just ended up looping it around so I can just unwrap this, because I noticed that the tomato has like it's like a little filament and sticky, and this stuff sticks to it real nice. So these are really solid. I had one tip over. This one here was laying to the right, the way you're looking at it now. And so I brought this back a little bit to the left and towards the front of the garden to hold that in place. So hopefully that'll survive. It looked like it was broken at the bottom, but it's still green, so we'll see how it looks. Overall, for disease-wise, these leaves look really, really good. There's a little bit, that might just be a web here. There's a couple of holes, but I don't see any disease. I've been reading up on leaf spot, which is some brown spots in the leaves, which I'm not seeing. I think these are spider webs, maybe a caterpillar, I'm not really sure. But it doesn't look like it's too intense here. So any leaves that look like burnt up and brown, I've been trimming off. There's a few, like this one here has holes in it. That one there looks real good. But for disease prevention, which is why I think I don't have the issue. I did in the beginning, I had some leaf spot, I believe it was yellow, so I found out since then that I believe leaf spot is brown. So it might not have been, it could have just been a lack of water, shock from transplanting it into the ground. Could have been a few of those things. So, but to prevent it, and it ended up bouncing back really nicely. I use a tablespoon of baking soda in a gallon jug, those pump jugs that you can spray. The sprayer is really nice. I think that was $14 or $15 from Home Depot again. I have one right down the street from me, a couple miles away, so it's convenient. You could do Lowe's. You could look at if you have Ocean State Job Lot, those are those are cheap stores. You could try Dollar Store for other items just to keep the cost down. So tablespoon of baking soda and 1 325 milligram aspirin tablet. I crush it up in a cup and then I just pour it in so I don't have to wait for it to dissolve. Shake it up, then you of course pump it up, which shakes it up a little bit more. And the baking soda, tablespoon, and a 325 milligram aspirin is sprayed onto the leaves on the top, on the bottom. If you're doing this for the very first time, make sure you test spray. Do 1 plant, 2 plants, depending on, like maybe like 1 or 2 or 5% of what you've planted, so you don't kill everything, just in case the spray is bad, or the spray is not what your plant's like, and you can adjust it accordingly from there. Maybe do half a tablespoon or a teaspoon. But I test sprayed and it didn't have any problems, so I went ahead with that. So tablespoon of baking soda, 1 aspirin, dissolved, pump it up, spray it on the top and the bottom of the leaves, and that's supposed to keep the soft body insects away. So that will also keep I believe the leaf spot and the things like early blight away as well. So got a lot of tomatoes. My basil here, I'm growing more in seed cells, but this looks horrible. This one looks like it's flowering. 2 of them are flowering already in the front. Besides that, I took out the bottom leaves. There's a couple that have some leaves that are close to the ground. You basically want the trimming of or taking off the leaves from the bottom. You don't want to take too many off because you want to have a good, we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 branch, or 4 branches of leaves coming off, and then the top tip, which is the growing stem there, will give that, power the plant, give it enough energy, photosynthesis from the sun, to continue to power that. And it looks like I'm just getting buds now. There's a few yellow, like basically 2 or 3 little, or one bunch, I should say, 2 or 3 buds on each bunch, on each plant. So this one here has just one. And I took off, each one had one huge sucker coming out from one of the bottom branches that I just hadn't been able to get out to the garden and get them off. So that's what's going on there. I don't know what these 3 pots are, I forget. But something's growing. Maybe. Oh, that one's still. Okay, so this pot here is still. That's the one good thing, is if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of see. I got the soaker hose going over it to give it some water. So I'm watering right now. It's nice when I'm watering, because if I forget to do something, I can get in here with the soaker going. I get a little spray on my legs, but I don't have to run around or get soaked with a sprinkler system. Plus, I'm not wasting water. That was why I went with the soaker hose system this year. I'm not watering the woods to hit the corners. I usually had a sprinkler there, but I would always, to get this corner, I'd always have to come, having the water would come out here and get into the grass, and when it would go and hit that corner, it would be going into the woods out there. So I was losing 30% of my water to watering the nature preserve or my lawn, which is really not grass, it's more shit and weeds. So that's why I went with the soaker system. Couple of hours is what I used to do with a sprinkler, and now it's going directly to the roots. Oh, the other thing I did today, once you see the first yellow buds come up, or as soon as you see, by the time you see a tomato, I would say is probably the latest, you want to put down a mixture of, it basically works out to be 2 tablespoons of Epsom salts, which is your magnesium, and lime, which is your calcium, about 2 tablespoons per plant. You want to stay about 6 inches away from the plant. So you can see here, the base of this plant, I don't have any salts, but you can see it in between that plant and this plant. You can see it in the middle. I heaped it up a little too much there. And I have it going all through here. And hopefully this will all soak in before I put in the peppers. I'm going to mix it in. And I have that going all the way down. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be good for peppers or cucumbers, so I did it anyway. Figure if it doesn't take it, if it doesn't need it, it won't take it. If it does, then it will. And I didn't do, did I do any over here? I didn't do any over here. These 2 rows that are dead, actually no, they're coming up now, are Brussels sprouts. I believe that these must grow really slow. And I'm assuming that down there, these are all Brussels sprouts, I believe. So anybody that wants to correct me, feel free. I love to learn as much as I can. So that was because they need the calcium, they need the magnesium. That's going to be for the fruit production, instead of giving it any nitrogen, which would be for leaf production. It would be really green, but no tomatoes, or very little. Over here, I about a month ago put this together. I did 2 so I could switch from one to the other, and then I didn't like to see one empty, so I filled them both up. These are all my leaves from 2016. Yeah, 2016, yeah. It was about 5 feet tall, 4 feet tall, and probably 5 or 6 feet wide, and that's all that's left is just this. So I add those. That's your brown, your dry. I get coffee grounds for free from Starbucks. Call them up in the morning, tell them you'll be there in the afternoon, and they'll save you 30, 40, 50 pounds of coffee grounds in a couple of trash bags, and it's that's your green. That's been sitting there for a few weeks actually, because I haven't been able to add it. But you just come out here at least every couple of days, I think, or at the very least probably once a week. But I come out as much as I can. I try to do it every day. I was doing it every day, and turning this. Throw all your vegetable scraps in here. No meats, no feces from any meat-eating animal. So things like, cat crap and dog crap you're not supposed to put in for compost. But anything, vegetables, food scraps, minus the meats, of course, put it in there and just add, I believe it's like, I think it's like 3 parts brown to 1 part green. So green would be anything that's like your vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, things like that. And then just mix it in and turn it as much as possible. I have a thermometer now, got that this year, so they say to be somewhere in the 100 to 120, 140, 160 degrees. You can punch a thermometer in there and see what that's at. I haven't been able to get it up to temp, but it's looking good. It's breaking down. It's very black because of the coffee grounds. Oh, these 2 rows here are carrots. I'm going to see what I can do with those. Wait till they get a little taller to trim them back. Watermelons were here, and those pots are onions, which did not take. I think I planted them in there too late. They were going a little bad. So this area can probably be redone with a couple of things that I have growing in cells, which I'll show you at some point. On the other side of the shed, I have potatoes, which in 15 years I've never been successful until today. So these are looking nice. Those are about 2.5 feet tall, maybe 2 feet tall, probably 2 feet tall. Yeah, tallest one's about 2 feet. So that's where the hose is coming from my rain bucket. It's just an old trash barrel. I put a bulkhead on it from Home Depot again. An on-off twist that you can turn it on and off so you can catch the rain and then release it into the soaker hose, which with that soaker system I was able to just make myself a little mini hose. This one was just scrap when I was cutting my 14-foot hose. This is what was left. I think this is 8 feet. Yeah, probably 8 feet. It doesn't make it all the way to the end, but it's something. And I come out here and water it myself as well. But I'm starting to get some flowers in there. From what I've read, potatoes are ready once it flowers and the flowers die off. Again, you can correct me. And then you dig that up. So this is very sandy soil. I've added a lot of amendments to the other side in the garden. And I have the compost, of course, that I'm going to be adding soon. I just wanted to wait a little bit because the compost isn't fully done. And then over here, it's not a huge yard, but it's a good size. Probably a couple 100 feet. So this is my new blueberry bush. See if I can get a good picture. This is to keep the birds out. So yeah, so there's my blueberry bush. I gotta tear this down and mow it out, but it's coming along nicely. There's a few, 1 or 2 berries in there. I want to get my phone all wet. Hopefully this video is decent. So that's that as far as gardens go. So tablespoon of baking soda. At the very least, just the baking soda. The aspirin is to, I forget the name of the acid, but it's a type of acid that's in the aspirin that tricks the plant, tomato plant, into thinking it's under attack. It releases a hormone, or it tells it to release a hormone, something to that effect. I haven't Googled it. It's something I've just heard in other YouTube videos and reading and stuff like that. But it releases a hormone and bulks up, beefs up the plant, so it thinks it's under attack. And then the baking soda, once the spray dries, because you mix it with water, the baking soda, what's left, and when the soft-bodied insects crawl over the leaves, they get the powder on themselves, and I think it gets in their joints. I've read a lot of different things, so I forget everything. I don't remember everything that I read. That's that. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you do. Leave me a comment if I made any mistakes, because I'm going by memory. I wanted to do a quick video before, not very quick, but before it got dark, and that way I have something to refer back to. If you have any questions, let me know. See you!